Welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. So in this lesson, we're going to walk through the process of using Route 53. We're going to register a domain name. We're going to set up a hosted zone, configure record sets, and then we'll route traffic to our Elastic Load Balancer. But before we get started, let's recap what we learned about Route 53 and Route 53 basics. So we talked about using Route 53 to register a domain name. And when you register that domain name and IP address are recorded on our DNS server so that whenever someone tries to access the domain name that we registered, so in our example, we're going to register the domain name projectomega2.com. So when someone goes to access projectomega2.com, the DNS server will return the domain name and IP address of projectomega2.com. It will go through the internet, through Route 53 and our internet gateway to direct that traffic to the Elastic Load Balancer. So the IP address that's being registered with our domain name on the DNS server is the IP address of the Elastic Load Balancer, and we're assigning the domain name projectomega2.com to the load balancer. And the load balancer is then able to direct traffic to either of our two web servers. So now that we've recapped what we've talked about so far with Route 53, let's go ahead and move into the steps for registering our domain. So within the AWS console, I'm going to go to Route 53. I'm just going to search for it and select it in the list. Now we haven't yet configured anything for Route 53, so we see the Route 53 splash screen. And the splash screen shows you the various tasks that you can complete for Route 53. DNS management, a visual tool for setting up Route 53 routing. This is a more advanced topic that we're not going to talk about in this lesson. Health monitoring, and of course, domain name registration, which is where we're going to start. So I'm going to go ahead and click Get Started Now. Before I click Get Started Now, remember that you'll only see this splash screen if you have not yet configured anything within Route 53. If you already have Route 53 settings, when you go to Route 53, you'll be directed directly to the Route 53 dashboard. So I'm going to click Get Started Now, and notice that we don't currently have any domain names registered. I'm going to click on Register Domain. And currently, as of this recording, registering a domain name with Route 53 costs $12. You don't have to follow along and create a domain name yourself. I'm going to go ahead and create one so that you can see the process. But know that if you do follow along, that you will be responsible for the cost of registering a domain name. And AWS may add that charge to your monthly bill. So keep in mind, you may not be billed for these charges until the end of the month. So I've already checked and validated that the domain name projectomega2.com is available. I'm going to click check, and it is available. I'm going to go ahead and click add to cart, and then I'm going to click continue. Now we're presented with a page to add our contact information for our domain. So whenever you register a domain name, there are 3 different types of contacts. You can register them all with the same name and address, or you can separate them. Completely up to you. So I'm going to enter my personal information in here so that I can complete this domain name registration. I'm going to pause the video while I do that, just because this is my personal info. But before I do that, I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom and notice that we have privacy protection. So privacy protection hides your contact information in case anyone was to perform a domain name lookup. When doing so, if you have privacy enabled, your personal contact information is blocked. If you disable privacy protection, then people will be able to look up who owns that particular domain name, and they would also receive your contact information. So as an example, if someone wanted to sell a domain name, they might leave their personal contact information as public so that people could contact them to make them offers before buying that domain name. I'm going to go ahead and leave my contact details blocked with the privacy setting. So again, I'm going to pause the video here for a few moments while I enter my contact details. I'll be right back. All right, so the domain name has been submitted. Prior to getting to this page, I walked through the process of filling in my personal contact information. It asked me to confirm my email address, which I did, and I had to check a box saying I agreed to the terms and conditions. If you followed along, then you walked through those steps as well. Now we're waiting for our domain name registration to complete. So we have to wait for that process to finish. So once that process is finished, then we'll go ahead and proceed with our next step, which will be looking at our hosted zone and record sets. So I'm going to pause the video again, and I'll be back once the domain name has been successfully registered. All right, so I've gone back to our Route 53 dashboard. Our domain has been successfully registered. So now we're going to go ahead and go into our hosted zones. And you can see our domain name, projectomega2.com. And when I click on that domain, you can see the record sets that have been created for us automatically. Now, what you're seeing here with these hosted zones is that AWS set up two different types of record sets for us within the hosted zone. So this is part of what was happening in the background or under the hood as we waited for our domain name registration to complete. Now, we have these two default record sets, but we're going to need to actually create an additional record set for our domain. By looking at these record sets, you're going to see a lot of information that we're not going to cover in this particular course because it's more advanced information. However, I do want to give you a little bit of background as to what we're looking at and what we're dealing with so that you understand what's happening as you access a website address and how that website address works with DNS and domain names. So that'll be as far as we go in terms of looking at what the record sets and all the different type of records actually mean in this particular course. Your focus really just needs to be on understanding that you can register domain names with Route 53 and that we can use the hosted zone and record sets to help us resolve the domain name that we've registered with the host IP address for the associated domain name. Now, looking at the type of record sets that have already been created is a more advanced topic that is outside of the scope of what we're doing here in this particular course. As I said, we're going to focus on just trying to understand how to resolve domain names to IP addresses. So let's go ahead and click Create Record Set. And we need to create two record sets. And the record sets we need to create are A records. So an A record is what resolves a host name to that IP address. So we're going to go to www.projectomega.com and we want that to resolve to the A record. And we're going to actually use an alias. So by using an alias, we're going to point at our elastic load balancer that we previously created. So I'm selecting that. And the routing policy, there are different types of routing policies. These different types of policies are a more advanced topic. So we're just going to keep the routing policy set to simple. And typically you would want to use evaluate target health. In our instance, the available options are more advanced. So we're just going to leave this set to no for now and click create. That creates our first record. So we're going to create another one. And this time we're just going to use projectomega2.com. We're going to make an alias record here as well and select our elastic load balancer again and click create. So now we have our A records created so that www.projectomega2.com and projectomega2.com alias point at our elastic load balancer. So if we go to the address for the elastic load balancer, we should see the same Apache web page that we saw when we accessed our EC2 instance directly. So typically when you create the records, we have to allow some time to pass before we try to access the domain name. Typically, it can take anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes for the DNS servers to update and receive that information from Route 53. So we're going to wait just a minute and then we'll go ahead and open a web browser and see if it works. So I'm going to pause the video for a moment to wait for DNS to propagate. Then we'll come back and load our website. All right, so let's go ahead and load our domain name. So we're loading our domain name, projectomega.com, and there we go. This is exactly what we were trying to achieve. So essentially what's happening here is, if we take a look at our diagram, is that we registered our domain name with Route 53 and we updated our hosted zone with two record sets for the domain name projectomega2.com. And if we were to do www.projectomega2.com, it would also load this page. What we did was we registered an A record on Route 53 using the DNS name projectomega2.com and registered it as an alias for our Elastic Load Balancer. That information was sent to the DNS server, so then when we tried to load this web page, it essentially loaded our Elastic Load Balancer page. So if we take a look at this within our AWS environment, I'm going to go to EC2. I'm just going to open it in another tab. And if we go down here to Elastic Load Balancer, here's the DNS name that was assigned that we made an alias for within Route 53. So if you were to open this DNS, if we were to open this DNS address, notice that it loads the page. So by using the name projectomega2.com, it essentially is loading from the load balancer. And then the load balancer will load balance the traffic between server 1 and server 2. And both of these servers are configured to show this Apache test web page. So that's essentially what's happening. So our requirement was to set up and configure a web domain that points to Project Omega's infrastructure. We registered a domain name in Route 53, created a hosted zone, and then we created a record set for the www and non-www domain name variants. We added an alias so that the traffic will be routed to the ELB based on the alias record that we created. And then we tested that the domain name was accessible via the web, which we were successful with, as we were able to load our Apache test page on our domain name projectomega2.com. That concludes this lesson on using Route 53. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.